Hello out there. We're on the air. Thank you so much for our tech guru, Tony Del Porto. Uh, goodness gracious me. We were having a bit of a technical issue. I couldn't get into the YouTube to let you guys know that there's no sounds. We've been using wireless mics for the tournaments, and they were doing really well until today when the batteries died, unfortunately. Um, but we are here. You guys are here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm being joined by Adam. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna hopefully get him on a mic in a bit. But oh my goodness, we're here. We're live. It's an open sheet. So did we really miss anything in the grand scheme of things? Philosophers will have to decide. So looks like are we already to the second end? We are. So it looks like they blanked. This is a rematch of pool play between Team Camarena, who upsets Team Burton, the defending champions, aka Monsters, in a really good game. And this is also shaping up to be a really cool game, really good game, as it were. So that's a really good point. So okay, so it does show that Camarena was forced to one here in the first. Thank you so much for bearing with us. It's been a really great weekend so far. Been pretty glitch free, and I guess we tempted the gods, and the gods answered back slightly. So um, uh, this has been a great weekend. Thank you so much to Tony and the crew here at San Francisco Bay Area for their technology. Um, Adam's sound is faint due to mine because I'm the one wearing the microphone. We're going to get Adam on the mic as soon as we can, but we're obviously trying to focus on the broadcast. But thank you so much. Um, all right, so it looks like this is the net stone coming from the Camarena second or first, pardon me. So Camarena's second is no first. It's the first. It's Kate Garfinkel, uh, I believe. So we're just switching between views here. So, but Camarena's gone into the house, and it looks like Burton now the play is drawn into the house as Burton puts the broom next to the top blue, pardon me, for Tim Burton's lead, and that is going to be Kim Daddy, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is Kim Daddy. Pardon me. Okay, her shot did take out the blue stone, and now Camarena is looking at I think drawing around. It appears. This is Camarena's second throwing now. Camarena's second is going to be Seema Shah, and she has less than 1 year of curling experience, and already she's in a final for regional playdowns. So what a great accomplishment on her part. And let's see if she's got what it takes. She's got the takeout take. So it does look to be biting. So let's see what Burton does here. Looks like they're going to draw. Curious about if they're going to draw down to the shot rock in the back of the house. Burton trying to manufacture a double here. This is Burton's second. This is Amy Thompson, born in St. Paul, Minnesota, has curled for 9 years, throws right-handed. So for those keeping track at home, looks like line's pretty tight. Looks like it's really close. It does with the guard. Rolls toward the center, is open, but there's a little bit of backing in the back eight there. Not a Seema Shah has something to say about it. And so quick broom placement, quick delivery there. as Shaw's second shot comes down the chute. I'm doing a lot of alliteration today, guys. Just heads up. It looks pretty close. I think it's going to hit. Yep.
And it's gonna. Now that's out of the wings.
Yep.
Keeping it
So
clean.
lost the shooter. Let's see here. The men's final is on the adjacent sheet three. We are going to try and drop in on that game when we can. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Otherwise, we would have set that up more quickly. Um, this is the net shot coming from Amy Thompson. And let's see here. This looks like they're going to take out the shot on the left side or go around us at the corner. I think it's going to actually kind of over curl there.
Yeah, it looks like it hit the weeds, came down too much, and curled too much.
So let's see. We're plugging in Adam's mic. Let's see what happens there. All right. Okay. So let's say something.
Hello, hello. All right, looks like I'm joining y'all in some capacity at least.
All right. So that shot was a little short. This shot coming now from the third for Camarena. It's a
Sebastica,
Sebastica. Thank you.
under the eye.
Yep. Otherwise known as Subs, which I will be calling her for the rest of the game. Because I definitely want to make sure we pronounce people's names correctly. This is going to settle into the top four. It's a biter there.
Solid draw.
Uh, Looks like they're going for a hit and roll. Um, Curious about what you think. Yeah.
But they could probably get it in there. Looks like they're going for probably control normal weight.
And this is Amy Thompson's second, I believe. Or this is let's see here. No, this is the third's first. Oops. So this would be Tatiana Keeling. Looks like it's looks pretty close. It might
It's not
just
gonna have enough roll though.
hits it pretty thick. Let's see here. So looks like it is shot rod, but it is available for subs to take out. Based on the broom placement, I think they're going to hit it and maybe just roll a little bit toward the left side. Uh, they do want to stick around though, and they do by kind of jamming on the blue that's on the wings there. Yeah, yeah. So during the end break, we're going to make sure we get Adam's mic up and working. This is new software for me. It's new software for Adam, our tech guru Tony Del Porto, doing an awesome job here. But obviously, lots of other things going on the ice. So
We're monkey patching some fresh equipment in, so
yeah. All right. So this shot here coming from Keeling, and I think they're trying to draw into that pocket now that's been set up on the left side of the sheets.
looks like they want a nice freeze.
Weight looks better this time. It looks like it's going to be pretty close.
Bit, but it's pretty much there. Oh, that's a good one. That's a beaut.
It's
Hair separation, which isn't perfect, but
It looks yellow for shot.
still, yeah, it's that's gonna give Camarena some work to do.
So here, they're kind of looking at kind of blowing up this side of the house, which I think kind of makes sense because they don't want to leave a yellow counter that could be used for a double for two at the end of the round. Interesting, interesting setup on this side of the sheet.
We could be in for a pretty close end. It's risky to move that yellow because it could just very easily jam on that blue and then be buried.
So subs is kind of looking over the line as Adriana Camarena gets set in the hat gets set. Subs has the broom down on the ice.
They're calling for a split.
I think they're calling to run the yellow back onto the blue onto the yellow.
Mm.
So it's just kind of based on how the angles are. So yellow onto blue onto yellow. Uh, we'll see if it's in the wheelhouse here as Camarena delivers.
That's definitely that's some weight to move some rocks.
Needs to make sure it stays on line. They're sweeping at it. It looks pretty close. Actually, it's over twirling a smidge now. They're probably going to move the yellow out of the way. Ooh,
No, they got it. Sweep, sweep, and blue's back in it.
what a great shot by the skipper for Team Camarena. Uh, that yellow is still in the house. It could come into play later in the end. It seems unlikely at this point. Um, looks like Burton. I think they're maybe trying to just draw to on top of the blue in the back 8 foot.
They could do like a wick double on those blues, which is really risky, not worth it in the second end. That's for sure. A nice draw is the play here, I think.
Or perhaps as a possibility, maybe they could maybe trying to come to the top 4 foot, and so that way, if Camarena tries to take out, there's possible jams and stuff, and then at least there's a little bit of separation. So if they need to do a draw to the button for a single, they can do that.
Yeah.
But this is Jane Burton's first. Jane Burton joined us on the broadcast yesterday. She was a great person to have a chat with. Jane was born in Regina, Saskatchewan. Has curled for 40 years, uh, and she now pushes out of the hat. She's a lefty, if you can tell. Um, weight looks a little up, I think.
Yeah, the sweepers are being cautious.
Oops.
Time to go.
Sorry, switching angles.
They're giving
uh,
it a bit of a push.
yeah, I think so. I think they are looking for like top eight, top four, and that is where it ends up. Actually, ends up closer to the button proper. Um, so interesting setup there.
Yep.
So here for Camarena again, so there's some jam possibilities. Although if they hit it on the right side of the yellow, it's gonna scoot out in between the blues on the left side of the sheet.
Yeah, so I think I want to catch just the right side and get a nice three-way split there.
Yeah,
Force Burton to just make the draw for one.
indeed. So Camarena, she plays for Team Mexico, and just talking about growing the sport, it's really awesome to see what athletes like Camarena have done to help grow the sport in places like Mexico, Nigeria, and beyond. And so Camarena, she actually went to the recent Pan Continental Curling Championship and was silver in the lower B division. So. Really great showing, and she's had a really great showing here at these playdowns.
Looks like it's over curling a bit, but they can still get a good roll.
Definitely need to make sure it doesn't jam. So I think once it over curled, they let it over curl so it didn't jam in the back.
Yeah.
So not a bad miss though. That is the way to miss. And so now uh,
Solid plan B.
Camarena is sitting three, and all Burton has is the draw for one. As Tatiana Keeling has the broom on the ice, Jane Burton goes to the hat to get set up. It says her lights are chocolate and Diet Mountain Dew. Oh, that's Thompson. Burton, her lights are coffee and 19 crimes. Do you know what 19 crimes are?
I'm afraid I am not cultured enough for that
I would need to look it up.
one.
But also dislikes long walks in bad weather. And who would like a long walk in bad weather? I mean, I guess there's some people out there. This is the draw now coming for Jane Burton for a single here in the second. Looks pretty close. The sweepers are just escorting it down.
Sweepers don't want to touch it. It could be a bit deep.
Yes, but
Oh, it's looking pretty good.
there's a little bit of backing if it comes to it, but
Sure.
they don't want to touch it. Uh, so
They don't.
sweepers are on it. It's there.
They use the
Ooh,
backing, but it.
It's
Yeah,
tough. Okay, so they're kicking. So I think they think it's one for Burton.
yeah, that's probably not worth that. I don't think that's worth a measure.
All right. So
Sometimes it's up in the air because the houses aren't perfectly shaped. So wouldn't have been too surprised if they called for one, but yeah, it was that was Burton.
all right. So we're gonna take a break real quick. Burton did store the one, so we'll be right back in just a moment. We're gonna show you. Oh nuts. We're gonna show you around the houses. Maybe in a bit. We'll see what we can do. We'll be right back. Uh, when we come back. So there's headset two.
Yep.
And so if you
Oh
turn,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
there we go. Yeah.
Cool.
So I need to make sure I add you to all the game keys. So all
Okay.
right, we unmute me too. We are back to the finals of the 2023 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns. I'll be kind of talking as I switch between camera angles a bit while we add some microphones. Oh, that's around the houses. We're going to switch back to a feature game. It looks like it's been a pretty good scoring affair on sheet three, the men's game between Team Tate and Team McBride. We will update you on that game as we get more action there. So looking at the away house. All right. So that is a view of the houses. Burton, without the hammer in the third end here, is opting to put up staggered center guards. One is on the center line. Um, so that's an interesting setup.
Yep. Solid lead stones. Two perfect center guards, pretty much nicely staggered. It would appear that Camarena has missed their first one.
Yeah. But they are going to be able to make this second shot here.
Oh yeah, making good use of the other team's guards there.
So
Right above T. On T.
someone's asking for a play-by-play of the second game. It'd be good. We only have one video set up though, so we really can't call it play-by-play of two games unless you want it to be super confusing. I mean, this is kind of a TSN scenario of like, why don't we have multiple cameras? And the situation is that we only have so many resources and also so many viewers. So I mean, I'm sure we would all love to have as much curling coverage as possible, and I'm very thankful that we are able to do that here at the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. But we just can't get everything. So it's a great idea. Also, a great idea was that last shot by Burton there.
Yeah. They took their own guard, and now they have three guards, which will make this end very interesting.
So yeah, Cameron I think, kind of now having to bat some cleanup here with his shots.
I think she just wants to get another one in.
So let's see here.
That is not curling very much.
Sometimes the curls kind of trick people on these sheets, kind of curious about what's happening. So,
Little straight and a little deep.
Adam, why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers at home?
Hi, yeah, I'm Adam Price. I have been curling since 2018. I'm a member of the host club, San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, and I was just playing in this spiel actually. But I'm also here to, join the broadcast, enjoy the finals with y'all. Let's have a good time. Good curling.
So, uh, Micah mentioned two other Adams, and it's the third Adam.
Yeah, this is Adam Price from Team Meyer.
But Meyer
So
Meyer had a
the
good
other
run.
Adam, not
Yeah.
those two. We
Th-
got a lot of Adams this time, and I
This
think
is
they were all in the same bracket.
yeah, this is looking pretty good. So it looks like they got one blue out and rolls under cover. Actually, kind of
Mm,
rolls through, rolls exposed on the left side there.
yeah, only
Um,
just nudged the back blue, but that still does pretty good work.
so just working on the technical difficulties again. Thank you so much for bearing with us as we worked through some of the stuff that we had to deal with. As the shot's already underway, they're moving pretty quickly today, which is great. Uh, Looks like Camarena, I think, are they drawing?
Yeah, they're drawing around. They just want to get it, put it right back. It's looking a little tight though. I think it's going to crash on that guard. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
a
that
bit of a miss.
it does still cover shot rock, but the yellow rolls open, so Burton can make a play on it. Someone's asking for a story. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Like we've been super busy trying to get this broadcast up and running. It's been Tate so far. Tate stole the first and second ends, a single each, and so Tate with the Red Rocks has a 2-0 lead over Team McBride from Hollywood. Definitely when we can showcase the other games, we will get to it. Um, they're playing pretty quickly on our feature sheet, so that's kind of throwing us off a little bit. It's good if you want like a quick-paced curling game. Not so great if you're working through technical difficulties. This
This looks to be raise for Burton.
Yep. So they are trying to take that tap raise there. Although
It's curling a lot.
it's over curling.
Yeah,
So this
actually,
actually
it
could
might actually hit that blue. Yeah, wicket.
yeah.
A
So it
little
does
more
wick the
actually.
blue. Yep.
Kind of thick.
So it does, push the blue into the house. The blue is now that blue that's in the 12 foot is now uh, a third shot. It's Camarena first and third, Burton second and fourth. And so
Yeah, crushing the guard was a solid plan B because they opened it up. Camarena's got to put it back. That blue is not second shot.
it's third,
So
I said.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that wasn't a correction. Just chatting.
All
You're good.
right. And so I think this is a subs shot
Yes.
here. Oh, and you've played with these curlers.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
if you have any information to impart, I think that would definitely be, I'm sure, useful to the listeners at home.
Mhm. Yeah, Subs is has been curling a while. From Calgary, I believe. She's new to the Bay Area club. She moved here this year.
Hmm.
So about as fresh as the club is as fresh a member as she is. But she comes with a lot of experience.
So Camarena
Solid
looking
player.
to was looking to take out some yellows and unfortunately took out her own, but thankfully it was a nose hit, so it was a miss, but doesn't change the situation too much aside from giving Burton a chance to then I think kind of clean house, and that's what Burton's doing here. Um, it looks to me like it's just going to be like a hit and possibly likely a roll from Tatiana Keeling there. But
Yeah, that's pretty much the play here. If you get that undercover, then that's very frustrating for Camarena.
so both teams throwing a lot of heat here in
Ooh,
this
it's not moving.
ads.
It's going to roll the other side, if anything, and probably too far. That's out.
Yeah. So
Keeping it clean. That's
yeah.
not a bad outcome for Burton, though.
So what would you do in this situation? So Burns sitting first and third and maybe fourth on the wings there. Cameron is second under partially covered under a corner guard.
Um, Depending on how much it's swinging on the side, there is a possibility of coming in at like backline hack weight
Hmm.
to roll in from that yellow. The blue is partially protected and not like that enticing of a takeout target.
Hmm.
So you could get a split that way. You could also just draw behind, classic.
There's a lot of cover there, but the stones aren't curling up as much.
Yeah.
Although people are throwing a lot of heat, it does look like they're coming down. It talked about a little bit. Um, the clocks are running. We had a technical difficulty in the first game this morning where the clocks weren't running, and teams were just kind of said, "Hey, why don't you play without the clocks and just not lollygag." So here, so they're looking at it. I think they're going to try and do it, just clean up this area here. Maybe they're looking based on where they had the broom, maybe trying to angle like an angle takeout there.
They might be going for that. Yeah, it seems a little bit risky to me, but if they're confident in their line, then they can definitely move both rocks pretty good. And that looks to be probably for normal weight,
Yeah.
just
So
to get
this
that
is
corner.
the last shot coming from subs here in the third end. Weight looks good.
Hmm.
Now it's a matter of
Oh, they're sweeping for curl.
it's
It's
not
not moving.
curling. Oh, this
Mm,
could be disastrous.
that's an unfortunate miss for Camarena.
So after having a pretty good setup for Camarena, a couple misses and some Burton hits have kind of turned this end around. And so now Burton's, I think, looking to, try to find a way to force or steal here. And Burton's got the broom down. I think they're going to try and draw around those centerish, cornerish guards. So uh,
Yeah, that's the way. You just get a nice split, bury it, and kind of take it away.
yeah, yeah.
If nothing else, force a tough draw for one is probably the end goal here.
And it's also good when you're skipping that if all you have to do is draw or throw a guard, your team's done pretty good that end.
That is the ideal outcome. Yes. If you're skipping, you're having to do cleanup, then that's real stressful, real quick. It's looking pretty good. I think they want to try and push for a berry. Might be
I
a
think it's
little bit
gonna
hot though.
wreck, and I think it's gonna.
No, it's
No,
around.
no, it does go around. It's going to go deep though.
Yeah. Does it outcount the blue? I don't think so, but that is close.
Yeah, goodness. So
Uh,
now Camarena, I think facing one, maybe two, with their first shot here in this end. Um, I really appreciate people wanting to watch the men's game. We have chosen to broadcast the women's game. We will do our best to show highlights from the men's game when we can.
so
So it looks like here, Camarena,
yeah, that could be a measure, and I mean, you also can't like I said earlier, you can't fully trust the houses because they're not perfectly
yeah.
measured. We have pins that are accurate, uh, but the rings aren't quite there. So if there's any doubt, we tell teams that they should take a measure for it,
When in
and it looks
doubt,
like
measure it out. So as Micah just messaged, so great minds think alike there, Micah. This is the first stone coming from Camarena here in the third end. Looking for a draw, needs to make sure it gets around, needs to be, I
those
think,
sweepers are
undercover.
pushing it.
It's not really curling that much. It also looks to be a little
Pretty
light.
light.
So they're trying to carry it.
I think they got it to shot though.
Uh,
Yep.
so it's not quite shot because there's that yellow
Yep. You're
in
right.
the 12 foot towards the bottom of this view.
That's right.
And also it makes it trickier for Camarena because it looks like Burton is lining up to just like hit that out, and then the port to the button is a lot more narrow. So just a hard situation, and goodness. So for the people looking interested in the men's game, I'm going to ask for a solution that might help a little bit. It's not going to be perfect because the perfect solution would be to have two camera crews and two broadcasts, and we're just not equipped for it. And I'm deeply sorry. But this is Burton's last year, and let's see here. So just basically a nose hit.
That's
Don't
the play. Yeah,
yeah
get
don't
a
want
nose hit, cover the center,
yeah.
give Camarena a very tough draw for one, maybe two,
Even
depending on the
hitting on
measure.
the left side is fine. And it looks like it is going to hit on the left side here,
Yeah,
just a bit. Um,
still pretty much does what it needs to,
yep,
and they do have that leeway on that shot. So
yeah,
yeah, um, there's very little Camarena can do about that back yellow at this point.
right. And they can't hit it out. I mean, they really can't hit and roll in. Just not because digging to that stone is tricky. Also because it's on the away side of the ice, or yeah, the away side of the ice, and that side of the ice has been tricky on the sheet throughout the weekend. It's been better the past day and a half, but it's still kind of unknown here.
Yeah,
As
you can get
as
around those yellows, but it's probably not going to curl enough to get to that back one.
well, it doesn't need to. Just need to make sure you have the right line and the right weight, and you'll have a single and the lead going into the fourth end.
Now, if they could move the yellow, then they could clinch too. But yeah, it's just probably not happening.
So
Let's see.
Camarena shots underway.
Looks like it's got more than enough.
Got the weight. They're sweeping it. That's what they might be looking at doing is stinging off the blue here at the top.
Mm,
Uh, and so it's going to go through the
That's too
center.
deep.
It's going to go through the house entirely. Not
All right.
entirely. It sits in the back. So it's just it looks like a steal of one at the very least. They're taking a close look at the second and third rocks, trying to figure out which one's second, which one's third. And so we might be having a measure here. And they're thinking about it.
Yeah, the vice subs is taking a good hard look at those rocks. See
So
whether they need to get it. Yeah,
they're
I think
clearing.
they're doing it. Yeah, they're going to get the device.
All right. So while they do that, I'm going to ask a favor real quick. We'll mute real quick. And we're back. It looks like they're doing the measure here, starting with the blue rock.
Okay.
And so it looks maybe yellow. Uh, they pointed to it. They're pushing
It
it
is
closer.
yellow.
So that is a steal of two on for Team Burton. So great end for Team Burton. While they clean the sheet and get ready for the next end, we're going to go around the rings and kind of see how the men's game is doing. And gentlemen, people of the internet who may be men, women, or other, uh, I have asked the someone in the club to help point out when stipstones are happening for the men's game, so we can let you guys know what's happening on that sheet. We're trying to do the best we can here, guys. Um, things are going so well until there's 2 games that people want to watch. Oh, look at that. So looking at bondspieler.com, which is another place you can find information, bonspieler.com. McBride scored a three spot in the third end there to take a 3-2 lead. So definitely great games, and we definitely want to highlight them as best we can, and we are going to do our best. We're going to maybe kind of keep an eye on both games for a minute while lead stones happen here on the feature sheet of Burton versus Camarena. We are in the fourth end here, and so after the fourth end, we are going to take a bit of a break. Um, so
Mhm.
So looking at sheet three, they are coming home. This is their fourth end, so they're going to be taking a break too. And someone asking in the chat why we can't keep this view up is because it's so if you're watching this on your cell phone, all the action is on like 1/6 of the screen or 1/8 of the screen. So I mean,
Hmm.
it's not really best in terms of like showcasing our sport. Like there are a lot of dedicated curling fans, um, but we are going to switch back to the feature game in a moment. But definitely, oops, my apologies. Didn't mean to do that. Um, looks like McBride is sitting one in the back of the house there, and the other reason why we're not doing this 1/6 view is because I personally don't want to do this. As a broadcaster, I want to be able to broadcast a complete presentation, and this 1/6 view is not ideal. So, yeah, my apologies, but we're going to proceed with how we have it set up. Um, on sheet two, Tamarina does have the hammer, but Burton has the lead after stealing two in the third. So Tamarina has some work to do. Just updating the score and talking at the same time. All right. So just another look here around the rings. So it looks like Tate was able to draw around the corner guard, and it looks like McBride is going around the center guard here. On sheet two, uh, Burton has up two center guards offsets, and so Camarena is going to try and draw around her own corner guard. So,
Yeah. Again, a nice pair from the lead on Team Burton.
oh yeah, and that's Kim Gaddy, born in Sandy, Utah. That's near where I live right now in Utah. So, uh, kind of a fun fact. Next rock coming from Tate here on sheet three. So Camarena's Team Camarena Stone does go around the corner. It looks really that's a really great shot by the Camarena rink. Here on
Yeah.
Tate, that's a miss on three. So we'll come back to that game when hopefully when Skip Stones happen. Moving back now to our feature game, very very gradually. Looks like Burton's now going to take advantage of those center guards they put up.
It's looking a little deep.
Yes, they're off of it. Uh, a little deep, but it looks like it's slowing
Line's
okay.
good.
Uh,
As long as
Ca-
it stays.
yeah, Camarena sweeping it to the back 12, so it does provide a bit of backing. Um, it does appear to possibly be shots. Uh,
Yeah, another measure maybe.
yeah, very tricky there.
Let's see how many measures we can get in one game.
So it looks like Camarena now is doesn't really want to have those center guards around anymore, and who could blame her? Is asking her second SEMA to do takeout. So what's it? Have you played with all these players on Camarena?
Not played with all of them, but I've definitely played.
Uh, I played doubles with subs once.
Hmm.
I've played with SEMA League Sparing, uh,
And I played a few spiels with Adriana
Okay.
myself. Actually, the only one I haven't played with is Kate. Should fix that.
So it looks like
Um,
there's no update to the men's store since we last talked. The score is 3-2, right over Tate. Thank you. Need to keep a positive attitude here. It is a bit of a test here. Um, Also, they're facing a test on the ice, so we need to focus on the challenge on the ice and not the challenge with the broadcast here.
yeah, that's fair.
But it looks like they're putting up the center guard again. Team Burton looks pretty good.
Little raise, but still they got the good stagger.
Yeah, and
Maybe a little wide actually, because
yeah,
that one on the right is. They're both pretty open. There's
So now
still plenty
Camarena
coming.
doesn't want to clear. She's asking for a draw. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of, there's that zone for is SEMA to draw to. And if you tell us a little bit about your team experience because you guys made it to the playoffs, right?
We did, yeah. So
We have myself and Will Meyer are both under five curlers. We've been on the under five circuit, trying to get to nationals.
for that as well.
Oh, this is looking really, really good there.
Nice.
Around the
A little
guards.
bit of a bump, but that's really
Yes.
good, and takes away that measure.
All right. So now it looks like Burton just wants to follow Camarena down and just kind of narrow the scoring area here. So
Yeah.
this is a quick call, a quick delivery by Tatiana Keeling. So uh,
Just to finish my thought earlier, the others on my team, Justin Legg and Jim Muyo, are both more experienced curlers, longtime California curlers.
mhm.
Um,
Muyo, Bay Area curler. Justin Lake used to from Southern California.
Hmm,
Um, and yeah, we just been fast friends and really enjoying our time playing together. This is
terrific.
actually our first tournament together this weekend
Oh wow.
as a team. We've all played in various configurations,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
um, yeah, so it was a really exciting experience for us.
All right.
yeah, it's a solid draw for Burton there.
And someone did point out I had the score incorrect, so I'm definitely trying to give kudos. Uh, you know, it is kind of fun being able to interact with the audience, and definitely need to give credit where credit's due. So thank you so much, Aaron, for the update
Yeah,
there.
appreciate you keeping us honest.
So this is from Camarena. It looks like they're going to try and draw around again. This basically
Mm.
narrows the scoring area a lot, and so I think they may be looking for like a lucky situation to perhaps get two here.
Maybe a heavy draw just to nudge that yellow. Quite the right angle to you know get it out of there, but it's still a pretty good outcome.
But all Burton has to do, and she's already done, is put the broom down,
Hmm.
and call for a draw. And
Yeah, unfortunately
yeah,
for Camarena, Burton still has backing on this.
yes. We're gonna mute for a second, real quick.
First skip round.
Okay. So looks like Keeling shot came up maybe a little bit light here. And so while Camarena gets set for this next shot, we are going to go around the rings to kind of see how the end of the men's final, this end is shaping up. The setup looks like it's one McBride right now. McBride playing with the Yellowstones. As Subs delivers her last here on sheet two. Uh, Looks like McBride is. I think McBride is maybe putting up a guard just based on how long it took the sweepers to walk between the hog lines, which we can't see with this view. It's a pretty decent sized guard, so there's not really a run back. Looks like
It's
there
in a pretty
is
good spot though. Closes up the draw for the most part.
indeed. And so it looks like Tate there just wants to kind of clear the guard just to have access to the button.
Yeah, keep the path open.
Yeah, and
Um,
maybe get a double. I mean, like these are top teams,
hmm
and so like I've been saying all weekend long, they might have a good quiver in their a good arrow in their quiver or a good club in their golf bag and stuff. Speaking of good shots, on sheet two, SEMA or subs, pardon me, drew around, and now Camarena sitting two with some pretty good protection there. Tate's
yeah,
stone
piled
coming
in a
out.
fully buried deuce. That's good.
And Tate threw some heat at this.
They want to move that yellow,
They got him with the yellow. So they got
and they're
one,
gonna get both
they
of them.
got two, and
How
it's
far is it gonna
rolling to
go?
the wings. And what a beautiful shot there by
Very nice.
Skip Tate there.
Yeah.
Um, It
And
does
that
appear
puts
that
red at shot.
yeah, Tate red is shot in the oh pardon me on the the wing there. Um, Looks like Burton is talking about it on sheet two. It is a very tough situation on sheet two. Very curious about how Burton. Oh no, they're sweeping.
Yeah, they're just going for the draw. They do still have backing,
Oh,
and it
this
looks
looks
like they
really
actually
good.
got it this time. So yeah,
It's a drawing game on sheet two, and man, we got some Picassos on that sheet. Or
it's a lot of stones in play.
Frida Kahlos. So now on sheet three, it looks like McBride uh, not having the hammer. I think is maybe just trying to maybe find a way to hide the stone and maybe hopefully only give up one, perhaps. Or this is a
Yeah,
tricky situation.
there's not a whole lot more you can do about that unless you do a pretty risky double, which I think they're looking at. They're trying to spot that angle to see if they can push one of the yellows into the corner of that top button yellow and have them both spill out sideways.
They're
That's
going
a
for the
big risk.
draw. It needs to sit down, and it's not going to sit down in time. So now Tate has a chance to. I guess I have a bit of an announcer's jinx here, but like Tate has a chance to score two. He has a draw for two here. Um, he definitely has one. Obviously, looking to put more in the bank, and he has a bit of backing. So, am I really jinxing Tate here? I hope not.
It seems pretty reasonable. Yeah.
So for Camarena, they're still getting set on their shot. Maybe tired of drawing, they're looking to do some takeouts here. But they only have, I think, two stones remaining.
Yeah, I think they're going for a bit of a risky double here.
Open up the middle though.
Yeah, that's a good plan B outcome. Um,
So her shot's away. As is Tate's. Tate doing a draw. Camarena doing a takeout. So we're going to get Camarena
yeah,
first.
just gonna peel up the middle a bit.
Uh,
Ooh, ooh, okay.
yeah. So I it doesn't help their situation, unfortunately, though, because it looks like all Burton really has to do is just draw around again, and then they should be sitting two undercover. And
They're
so,
basically making Burton put the guard back. And if Burton doesn't like get the line or something, they're hoping that they might still have
okay,
maybe like a hack weight bump on that yellow, come across and push it out the corner.
indeed. So since you're focused on sheet two, sheet three, you kind of missed what happened with the draw, uh, which is again one of the problems of trying to call two games at the same time. Uh, but we're learning at the same time. Hopefully, you guys are at home. Uh, I think it was just the one. I think just based on how they were clearing it, it's hard to say. We'll wait to see how they put what they put up on the scoreboard there. It was two, so they did get the two on sheet three. Tate from Coyotes curling with the Red Rocks now has a 4-3 lead over McBride, but it is a fight on both sheets here.
Yeah, McBride takes a 1 point game.
Tate's up one now, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's yeah, and they go into the half here, so it's going to be very interesting. Um,
Okay, what weight are they going for? Draw or guard?
one second.
Looks like a draw to me.
Yes, Tate got two. Thank you, Larry. Definitely appreciate your comments. Sorry if I sound a little cantankerous at times. It's been a great tournament, but it's also been a long tournament. So here, that's a really great place to put it. They're not second shots. Well, they could be second
That
shots.
actually might work out for Camarena though. 'Cause if you get the corner but not too wide, then the yellows spill out sideways both.
That's the shot they're calling. Do you see any other alternatives though? They can't. They should try and do an out turn to try and maybe draw the side of the button, but that's I think a high difficulty
Yeah,
shot.
Looks like yellow might be two, so they got to do something. They
Yeah.
got to move those.
So Team Burton, the Monsters, they've been together as a team for about 4 years, and they've been to MoPac. Uh, they've won the Playdowns, I think, 4 years in a row. So um, it looks like they're going to try and do this a slash, I guess you could call it. Again, the difficulty level is super high here, and we will see if Camarena has it here with the hammer in the fourth end.
Decent weight, but they gotta go probably for line.
It's yeah, I think it's curling pretty hard. It's
Oh,
some of these camera
it's
angles are a
on the
little deceiving, but
it's on the yellow. That's
Unfortunate miss.
yes. So it does appear to be another steal of at least one. They might be doing a measure.
Does not look like it.
it. They've already kicked
They
away
kicked
that
it.
first
So
blue, so uh, it appears to be a steal of two.
so one fun thing, I say fun, when I watched some lawn bowling, and so they have like little paddles to indicate the score based on
Hmm. That's a good idea.
So Camarena, I think this is her first appearance in the finals for the MoPac Playdowns. It's not on her resume. Tate though, Tate plays out of Coyotes, and so they faced some pretty stiff competition there, but and it was a steal of two um, for Burton to take a 5-1 lead here after four. So we're going to take a 5 minute break. Uh, we're going to take a pause in the action here, trying to catch our breath because it was a crazy start to the match, and we will be back in just a few minutes when we return to the 2023 Mopat Men's and Women's Club Playdown Finals. Uh, this broadcast is presented by authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. I think we got it. We are back to the 2023 men's and women's club playdown finals. Just a pretty exciting match of teams on our feature sheet. We have Team Camarena facing a bit of an uphill challenge against Team Burton, the defending champions. Um, Early action here in the fifth end, and looks like Burton is going to take out the Camarena Bluestone that was just put in. And it rolls under cover there. I'm being joined. This is your host Ryan. I'm joined by Adam
Hello.
from Team Meyer, also curls out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Um,
Local guest host, if that makes any sense.
but we've had a lot of great people here watching. A lot of people, a lot of great teams. Um, just as a quick recap, we had 18 men's teams and 8 women's teams at this event. It was a great tournament, lots of great games. I mean, Adam, what did you think of the tournament, especially this type of format?
I mean, it's super exciting. This especially for our club, because this is our second full Bonspiel that we've hosted. So going from our grand opening spiel directly to a major competitive event like this is a real great opportunity for us, and we were very very stoked to just see how much interest there was in coming here and in the MoPac Playdowns in general.
Hmm.
So we're absolutely just very very happy to see all these teams coming out and giving it their best.
So this rock is coming from the second for Team Burton. That is Amy Thompson, and this looks to be a little bit heavy, maybe.
Yeah, might even be through. Coming in is going to try and sweep it out.
It is hitting the brakes in the back.
Just about back line almost.
So definitely a huge thank you to all the viewers. I know we've I know you guys are commenting because you care about the sport, you care about your teams, and I just want to say thank you sincerely. We wouldn't be here without viewers like you. Thank you for thank you for your support. Uh, this next stone coming from the Camarena second, and that would be
Yeah, I missed the call, but I'm guessing
Sema.
they're trying to freeze on that back one.
It looks to be,
They want to keep their
yes.
rocks around at this point. Uh, the weight's not too bad. It's got a curl bit though. Let's come into the corner. Oh, actually, it did come down at the end. That's decent. It's probably more separation than she'd like if you're going to be behind T, but they got to get rocks in there. So, and it is about a third buried.
Score of the Tate McBride game is 4-3 Tate over McBride after the fourth end break. This is a new type of broadcasting. I've done radio before, and I never really took a live caller on the air. But it's been
Ooh,
fascinating.
that's a great draw from Team Burton.
That looked really
Just get around that
nice.
guard. Almost fully buried and sitting on the button there. Not quite on the pin, but damn close.
So Camarena, I think, is looking to. Is she going to a draw game right now? Like a heavy
Yeah, she
draw?
doesn't have a whole lot of choice unless she wants to start cleaning up, which she could do now, but that's not the call.
Well, also all the rocks are in the house, so this is a challenge, a challenging situation for Camarena. I mean, these really are among the top teams in our region, so it's been great to see. This could be a setup shot.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were going for, but it's still definitely usable, and they can use that to push the yellow out. Um,
So Burton now is opting to
Kind of protect
guard.
the forefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guard is the play here for a force.
So also, I mean, we're talking about San Francisco hosting, and we're all definitely thankful for San Francisco being able to step up on short notice to to host this, but also just acknowledging that we all kind of wish that we were at the Southern California Curling Center, which unfortunately had to close on short notice. And we definitely hope that dedicated curling returns to Southern California soon because it was a lot of fun when it was there. I
Yeah,
think you were
having
at
them,
one.
the way that all went down, it was pretty tragic, a huge loss for California curling. But we were happy to be around to step up. We're a pretty new club ourselves. We haven't even been open a year. So this is a big turnaround for us to be hosting this so soon after opening our doors.
Indeed, and I was about to say, I think you were at one of the 500ers in SoCal. Was that right? Or
I
there?
was at the Rising Stars 5 and Under back in March, I believe it was.
Yeah,
Also with Will Meyer in that one, we managed to take the C bracket,
cool,
which was
terrific.
a great time.
It looks like they're trying to get the stone to curl. It needs to, I think, curl a little bit more. I think it hit the outside of the yellow. Moves the rocks around. Does open up shot rock on the button. So I think that was probably a positive outcome.
Yes, looks like Burton wants to freeze to it, which is probably a pretty good call. Guard's also a decent option.
Someone picking some stuff off the ice there as Burton comes back. We're gonna mute a second, please. Thank you. All right, this looks to be Keeling's last here in the end.
I think it's a bit light. They're sweeping pretty hard.
I mean, they do just, I think, want a guard. So,
Well, the call was for a freeze, but I
okay.
think the guard is what they're getting after all.
And indeed, it is a guard. So we are now to skip stones
And
on.
it overcurled a bit, actually. That's a bit of an unfortunate miss for Burton and an opportunity for Camarena.
So skip stones on sheet three, the men's final between Team Tate of Coyotes and Team McBride from Hollywood. Looks like it's McBride sitting two here. And this is going to be interesting because Garnett's watching the game live in person, and so he might see more more quickly than we see on the feed, or the YouTube viewers see on the feed. So it's going to be a fascinating experiment for people who are watching the second screen experience. Also talking
Yeah,
about
we do
second screen.
appreciate the assist, Garnet.
So it looks like Subs did a takeout, moved the yellow off the button, but I think jammed a little bit. There is now yellow
Yeah,
sitting
I think
shot,
yellow is still shot. So it helps, but it's not quite ideal.
and Burns just gonna probably hit and roll.
They could maybe get around to that yellow from the right side, but it's a little hard to tell with the lensing of these cameras.
And also on sheet three, Tate's delivering. I would guess to be his last. It's gonna hit and stick. So
For barely shot, pretty close.
it's tough. I think it looks shot to me, just based on kind of the lettering of the La Liga Latina
Hmm.
logo. So McBride needs to hit this, and if this is the last rock, it looks like McBride has a chance to take two, and I think retake the lead.
Ooh, solid takeout from Burton. They might have liked to have stuck around, but that's not a bad outcome either. Uh, if they stuck, then that would give another hit and roll opportunity for Camarena. Now they got to play for that yellow, which is probably pretty decently buried.
Last rock in underway on sheet three. Looks like McBride just needs to hit for two. It looks like it might be overcurling a little bit. No, it's right on the nose. So that's a solid two there for McBride to retake the lead. A very exciting game on sheet three. Also an exciting game on sheets two. Garnett's play-by-play in the chat is almost as good as what we're doing here. Goodness. And Darnell's one of the characters of Hollywood curling. And
Oh yeah, so we can see that yellow is only about a quarter buried, so there's a pretty good opportunity for Camarena to roll that one under.
this is her first of two skip stones with a hammer
Oh, that's wide.
here in the fifth.
That's got to come back, and it's through.
Oh goodness. Unfortunate miss by Camarena, and looks like Burton is just kind of going to close the door to the button, at least on that side, make it hard to get a force, and actually, and also make it, also eliminate the deuce because right now in the house, Burton's sitting first and third, I think.
Ooh,
Eh,
might be fourth.
Okay, and but
Looks a
definitely
little bit like that top yellow is actually closer to the outer ring than the back
indeed.
blue.
I,
Um,
I'm leaning towards you now. So uh,
so Camarena had the opportunity to play for three there, um,
this is interesting, but
but
it also
Burton
makes
caught a
sense.
break.
This shot makes sense where Keeling has the room for her skip, because they're looking to basically put a second shot on the other side.
Yeah, get a
And
split that Camarena can't, so she can't get both and try and steal again.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And also, we kind of saw where you don't necessarily want to draw to the same side because if it sets up a double, you can get like a double takeout and score multiple points. And that's how Team Tate got into this final. A
Yeah.
very awesome last shot against Team Leclerc, where they doubled out Leclerc stones and they were sitting three for the win. So
Yeah, and even if this is deep, as long as they get the line, then Camarena is still forced to draw for one. But it is not too deep. It is pretty well in there.
it is shots,
Just above T, top four there.
but it's almost there is a double. And so at this point of the game, you're down four in the fifth end. Do you try and go for a big money shot here? They're lining up a double to get two, maybe three.
Yeah, so you have to come to the inside of that yellow, I think, because if you can double the yellows hitting from the outside, but then one of them could just as easily jam on that back blue.
That's a good point.
The tricky thing that you kind of have to try is to hit and roll off that yellow. If you're a little thick, then you just come shot for one. If you are a little more thin, then hopefully you get that actual double and hit the back yellow there.
So it is a bit academic because after looking at it, they then went to the right side of the
So they
sheet
did. Yeah.
and set up for a draw.
I was
Uh,
so busy looking at that crazy shot that I didn't see the much more sane one that they were actually calling, which is basically the same as last time.
less ice, one would assume.
Um,
It looks better this time, although it
it
looks a
might be
little
on
bit
the yellow.
lighter. Oh my goodness, it's over curling.
Oh,
It's going to wreck into
they're
the
going for a raise
guards.
now.
Okay, plan B, and just a bit short. I think it's
I,
still third shot.
yeah, they might measure, but it's
They're kicking the
two
rocks.
yellow.
So yeah, put up another two, another steal of two for Team Burton. Um, this is almost the mirror image of the earlier game that they played in pool play. I only saw the line score really, but like Camarena was in control. I think almost that entire game. Um, I might be mischaracterizing it. It's just kind of what I saw basically on the scoreboard. Um, so we'll go
Yeah, I
around.
mean these scores don't show just don't show how close these ends are actually getting.
Yeah,
It's a pretty tight game overall, with just some unfortunate misses.
yeah, indeed. And then yeah, like the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect the true story of the game, which
Hmm.
is why we're here. We're here to tell the story, hopefully entertain and bemuse our viewers at home.
Hmm.
Uh, just to let you know that live streaming of this and other regional competitions is powered by the 18 clubs and 1,500 members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Our mission serves to grow curling and foster competition in Arizona, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah. Visit mopacca.org today to find a curling club near you or for help starting a club in your community. And we have our newest club actually starting up in Victor, Idaho, outside of Jackson Hole.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's great to see another club in Idaho, near Wyoming. There's not a lot of clubs in Wyoming. I think Cheyenne was trying to start one. So
I know I have some friends who just moved from our club up to Boise that'll be very happy to have some more dedicated ice close to them.
yes, or just arena ice.
Oh,
Boise's
my
working on dedicated ice though.
apologies.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it would be fun if Victor had
Hmm.
dedicated ice. It's also fascinating that Tahoe had the California Nevada region's first dedicated ice in a long time. It's a
Yeah.
lovely two-sheeter, but for growing or burgeoning metropolises like the Bay
Mm.
Area or LA, two sheets are probably not enough.
Yeah, Tahoe's a lovely club. I was actually just there for the Thin Air Spiel a few months ago. We have a lot of cross pollination between the San Francisco Bay Area Club and Tahoe. In fact, the uh, second for Team Camarena, Sima Shah, is also a Tahoe member
Oh, terrific.
and spends a fair amount of her time up there, curling among other activities such as hiking and so forth.
So this is another tough situation for McBride. I think he's trying to draw around those staggered center guards, and as we wait for the stone to cross the Great Divide there, the line looks pretty
Looks
good.
clear, yeah.
The weights maybe a
Too
smidge
much,
heavy, yes.
but it's also curling too much to get a little wick inside.
So it looks like Tate has one right now. It's tough to tell though. The rainbow of the Pride
Yeah,
the Pride House makes it a little tough to
they're
tell.
confirming that it's one red.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So we're gonna kind of revisit the feature game, see how that's going. As is this Seema's first here?
This is Kate Garfinkel.
Oh, Kate. Oh, terrific. So basically, at this point for Camarena, it's all in on offense. So they're trying to do a corner guard, but then Burton put two in the house, and so now Camarena is trying to join into the house. Uh,
That's a solid shot from Garfinkel.
oh yeah,
Looks to be yes, it's a fighter. So they get the takeout, they keep one around. It's a nice trade.
terrific. Oh, give it a sec. And goodness, so it looked like Burton wanted to take out the Camarena stone that's in the house and just sailed on by. So a bit of a mistake, and that might give Camarena an opportunity here to generate some of that offense. And it looks like she's setting up a corner guard, perhaps.
Potentially. Could also be a freeze. I missed the call with
Mm-hmm.
the broom. Um,
Both of those would definitely help them out. They probably want it in the house more
Mm.
than anything. Um,
because they have hammers, so it's not the free guard zone anymore, and they really need points.
Mm-hmm. So let's
Looks like
say
they're going for the freeze, but it's a little bit heavy.
well, even tapping it back a little bit is not too bad.
No, that still works in their favor.
Although it does create some separation, so Burton can try and chip it out.
Yes. It's
And
not ideal, but
what's
it's
so
better than flashing.
it is better than flashing. This net stone coming from looks like Tatiana Keelings.
Yep, they are going for that takeout.
She was
Control weight there.
she was born in Russia. She throws right. Uh, I haven't been mentioning it, but all of the monsters have mentioned. Ooh, this looks really good. Ooh, actually, it works out.
Yeah, that's a solid outcome for Burton. I don't think she'll miss that back yellow too much. She just wants to make sure that
That blue doesn't stick around.
Yes, and yeah, keeping a clean sheet is very much the goal for Burton at this point in
Yeah.
a game where you're up by 6.
probably going for that freeze again.
And this is subs here. And yeah,
This week Seema shot.
was it SEMA? Gosh, darn it.
Yeah, they're still on the second stone.
So it's Amy Thompson who threw the last rock. My apologies. Uh, there's a lot of things in motion when you call a curling game.
Mhm.
This looks really good for SEMA.
That's pretty nice. Sweeper stone there. A little bit of a bump. Okay, a bit more than I thought actually.
So
Colton's probably just going to call the same thing.
yeah.
Just pop it out.
And then try to make sure she hits on the left side or the right side of the stone from this view. By hitting on the right side of the stone, it makes sure that the stone squirts out the other side, the left side. It doesn't run any risk of jamming on the yellow in the back.
Yeah, I think probably ideal for Burton is a rolls.
Pretty far to the wing so that they don't leave a double.
Oh, that's a good point as well. It looks like it's going to nose hit.
It's a good angle for her.
Oh, it does roll. I think it's going to roll through the house and out of play.
Would have been icing on the cake if they could stick around biting that side, but that's still that does the job.
And so Camarena is going to try the freeze again. Looks like just kind of automatic here.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of other options.
Other than maybe come around behind that blue, but there's not a whole lot stopping yellow from just following them in and pushing them out. The blue is pretty high. Blue guard.
So one moment.
Sweepers are staying pretty close. I think might be a little bit much on weight.
But they want to make sure it gets there.
Looks pretty good. Taps it back. So another similar situation, although it's just a slight variation on this theme. So
Well, there's a little less separation this time, so this could actually. There's a lot higher chance that the blue jams against that yellow and does stick around. So I think Burton is making a different call now. Looks also like probably a freeze. Wants to just sit on top of that blue and stay shot. Want to close that scoring area. So it'll get harder and harder for Camarena.
I think we're almost to skip stones on the feet. Thank you so much. So we're gonna finish this shot and then go around the rings here. This looks to be a really nice a drawdown.
That's a great freeze.
Sits right on top. So skip stones now on the men's game on sheet 3. We have Hollywood's Team McBride, mounting a valiant battle against Team Tate of Coyotes. McBride with the Yellow Rocks has a 5-4 lead, and it looks like McBride is sitting with one here with the skip stones. That yellow is behind the button. McBride just threw their first stone, so it looks like I'm going to guess putting up a guard. I would think probably a fairly high guard because we saw Tate in the last semifinal throw some really nice takeouts and runbacks, and that is a guard. It looks like it's maybe about half covering shot rock on the button there.
Yeah, not quite enough. There's still definitely a path to it for red.
And then
on sheet 2, looks like Camarena tried to get, I think it was another freeze, but not quite there. Their blue is sitting open, even though they're shot, so it's not really a great spot for her to be in at the moment.
So for Tate has the room on the 4-foot. I think they're maybe going to just try to draw and sit right on top of yellow on the button there, and just take 1 point, tie it up, and then kind of change hammer. Right now we're both on the even ends here, the 6th end. So by taking one here, Tate still kind of controls the hammer. If he's able to force McBride to a single, then he would have the hammer coming home just down 1. So that might be part of the thinking for Tate here as he pushes out of the hat with his first here. Looking for a draw. I'm going to guess looking for the button. Yep. Although Garnett says control, weight, hit. So what do I know?
Meanwhile, Burton on sheet 2 is looking to just punch that blue right out. It's wide open. There's no reason not to, and they either stick and they sit too, and there's not really a great way for Camarena to get rid of both of those
And that
without
was
getting
not a
rid of their blue.
control weight
Or they
hit,
roll to
Garnett.
the side and get a split.
So he was drawing. Tay was drawing all day, and wrecked on the guard. Oh, so here we go. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so they're going to get that split, which is close. Not sure if that's second shot or third shot, but either way, it is not something Camarena wants to see on the sheet right
No.
now.
It looks very difficult for Camarena to score multiple points here. Um, this just seems like Camarena's been chasing a lot, and she's doing it again in this end, unfortunately. So.
Now there is a real fun shot if you can get just the side of that blue, sorry, the side of that yellow on the tee line, um, and roll over to the other yellow to get them both out. I don't think they're not calling that though, which is probably for the best. That's a very low percentage shot. I think they're just trying to come right to that yellow. Maybe set up a hammer to bump that out on the side
And
with a
then
corner freeze.
McBride on sheet 3, he nailed the guard the second time. So the door to the button is closed. They've turned out the lights. They've gone home. Uh, McBride is, I think, looking at some sort of really long run back takeout there. I don't know if you see anything else.
It's fully closed up, so there really isn't any other option. Um, let's see.
And then Camarena was short on her last, so it comes to rest in the top 12. So just
Yeah,
and the
there's
other
just
thing,
no way to
yeah,
on sheet 3. There's just no way to that yellow really,
yeah.
except for a raise.
So they have the shot lined up, and we've seen Tate, pull rabbits out of his hats before, and we will see if he can be the Magic Man once more. He's not Magic Mike. That's Mike McEwen, apparently. For
Or
Burton
yes, sorry,
here.
a double run back double, not a raise. Thank you
Oh,
for correcting me, Garnet.
so here we go. This is the last shot for Tate here in the sixth. It's not going to make it. So it looks like McBride steals one to take a 2-point lead over Tate, um, making it very interesting heading into the seventh end. So work to do by Team Tate, but they are by no means out of it. And looks like here on our feature sheet, sheet 2, Team Burton drew into top 4, it looks like. Top 8.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what they wanted. They just barely wicked that top blue, um, but it's still not a bad outcome because they're closing up the path to the 4 foot here. And unfortunately, the previous shot Camarena just came up a bit short, so that top blue just didn't really come anywhere that counts, and in fact, kind of took away one of their paths.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can't take out from the center line. They have to come in from the wing.
So this is the hammer, and I don't see a shot to the button really. It looks like they're going to try and draw for one, and that seems to be the shot.
There's not a whole lot else they can do really. It's being the last stone. Yeah, there's no way to get rid of both those yellows.
So last shot now coming from Adriana Camarena. Looks like it has a little bit of heat to it. There is some backing with that yellow.
Yeah, they're probably still fine if they catch the inside of nose on that yellow and roll into the 4 foot. So I think they plan to use that backing. It's
Yep.
falling a bit much, but it still works out.
And so that's one for Camarena.
Mhm.
And so keeping an eye on the clearing of the house.
Yep.
All right, so Camarena fighting to get back into this game takes one with 2 ends remaining here at the 2022 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we are back here to the 2023 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, brought to you from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Rodson play, we're underway on the men's and women's final games. Uh, we'll turn back to our feature sheet in just a moment. We're kind of watching around the rings coverage. Looks like it's the seventh end for both teams. Looks like there's a bunch of guards going up.
Yeah,
Uh,
Team Camarena gets a nice pair of guards there. They're not quite on the center line, but definitely something that they can work with. They need cover for their stones
and
because
then
they're trying to get 6 here.
I mean, you don't have to get all six at
uh,
once. I mean, you want to,
yeah.
if you steal three and then steal three more, you're already back. You're back in this game. But they do need it, and Inigo Montoya to tie it.
Yeah.
On our men's game, we have Team McBride with a 2-point lead over Team Tate from Coyotes. McBride playing with the Yellow Rocks, and he is sitting in the house, shot rock, top 4 foot. It looks like they're just kind of putting up a wall of guards, like a great wall of granite there. And
Camarena's going for probably a hit and roll double.
so let's see if that is on target there.
Ooh, that's tighter than I realized. Hard to tell from these top-down cameras. Uh, yeah, I think that's one that
Ooh,
spills out.
but not too bad. But they need to stick
Um,
around.
yeah, and unfortunately they do not. They're out the side. But it was too thin for anything else to happen. Um, and they had to do something about that, about those yellow rocks.
So Burton's going back into the house. This is Burton has a hammer for the first time in a while. Um, this is the second for Tim Burton, the monsters. This would be Amy Thompson. Her favorite zoo animal is the giraffe. Do you have a favorite zoo animal?
Uh, remember when I was a kid, I saw an albino alligator. I
Okay.
think it was the Philadelphia Zoo, and I thought that was just the coolest thing. So I'll go with that one.
That sounds great. I saw an albino deer once, not at a zoo, but near well, it was in Marquette, Michigan, Upper Peninsula. So it was at a park actually. So
Hmm.
looks like Camarena is looking to draw around here.
Yeah, she wants to just get something in the forefoot, I guess, which makes sense. Um, there's a better angle for a double, but they can't do that because then that yellow's a biter. They wouldn't be touching the house,
And this
and
is
they
a
need points.
SEMA, right?
Yes, that was Seema Shah who was throwing this stone. They got to push it.
It's going to be
It's
second shot.
Yeah, it's just not going to curl enough, so it's pretty wide open. And somewhat predictably, Burton is looking to remove it, maybe get a roll under and make things even tougher for Camarena by having a stacked three.
So this has been an exciting tournament all around. I mean, just also to see, a strong team like Team Burton kind of showing what they can do, and then seeing Team Camarena, a relatively new team, also proving that they can compete at this level.
Hmm. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of up counters, a lot of growth here. This is a really exciting event overall.
And that was a
Um,
really nice hit and roll
yeah,
there.
Team Burton nails it.
Not really giving a lot of options for Team Camarena. Is this subs?
This is subs, yes.
Oh.
So they're gonna try it again. They want to get that stone under there. Um, if they can get it, it's actually gonna be pretty good for them, because then they'll be covered by a nice Christmas tree of yellow. It's it's a very accurate shot.
Both teams have
They can't
plenty
be
of
too
time
deep,
on the clock, by the way.
and it's gonna curl a bit too much. I think. I think it's crashing on the yellow.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They opened up the path to the forefoot a little bit with that, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but that blue is just an open target, and
Eh,
Burton is going to take it.
Burton's just cleaning house at this point.
That's the strategy, yeah, and they're they're not missing much.
So let's talk about a moment about what this all means. Like in the direct outcome, the winners of these finals win berths to the 2023 Club Nationals. And I think USA Curling just announced the location. I think it's in. I'll look it up in a moment. Uh, as it looks like Tatiana Keeling, a nice nose hit there,
Yep, solid hit and stick. The
and
path of the forefoot is still there, but certainly doesn't make Camarina's situation any better.
so the winner will advance to club nationals. And then also, given the number of teams we have competing, there are often additional berths available. And so, with us having an 18 team field, it seems possible, if not probable, that we could get another men's berth. So the McBride Tate game, regardless of who wins, we might see both of them at club nationals coming up in the spring. And let's see if they have this draw here. They had the
Yeah,
line, they didn't have the weights.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Because it really did look pretty good otherwise, like down the sheet, but yeah, just not far enough. Um, and in fact, that kind of helps out Burton at this point, because now the draw path is closed up. Camarena could raise, and Burton might have considered trying to guard against that, but there's not really a whole lot of point, so she's just going to take it out.
Hmm.
Just keep running Camarena out of stones is the
Yeah.
call here.
So Burton's got the broom down. I mean, obviously, there's not a lot of risk to these shots by Team Burton at this point in the game. Uh, looking up when Club Nationals are. Thank you very much. So it looks like going for. Oh, where's that rock going?
That's going to hit just about nose.
Okay. Oh,
Yep. Which turns that risk of a raise into a risk of absolutely nothing. There's Camarena's got nothing left on that path.
that camera
She's
angle
probably going
fooled
to come
me.
around the other side. Yeah, that's all she's got now.
Okay, so we have word that it is Skip Stones on sheet three, the men's game, the gentlemanly sport. It looks like Tate was trying to draw around and is looking to come up a little short. That could be a setup. That's not going to be a setup shot for his last,
Yeah, it's a bit too
unfortunately.
buried. You'd have to do like a run back raise to make use of that, which is probably with the house as open as it is, that's not really going to be worth the risk.
Never say never. Uh, but sometimes, like I'm sure you've had league games where it's like, hey, I don't see a shot, but let's just try something, and like 99% of the time it doesn't work. But it's fun just to that's also kind of the
Well, that's
fun
only
part of
how
the
half
sport.
my games end. Uh, yeah, sometimes you call the fun shot and not necessarily the correct one. Um, but there's still a lot that can happen on sheet three here.
McBride sitting in one. It's a you can draw to it, I think, but obviously I would imagine McBride's just going to close that side off. And also, just as an update, last week USA Curling did announce that the Wausau Curling Club, pardon me, is going to host Club Nationals. He's coming into the house with that shot. He's going to tap it back, put it a little bit undercover.
You pretty
Uh,
much can't go wrong as long as he's on that line,
yep,
because they're just taking inches away from the path of the 4 foot there.
yeah. There's a double. I mean, and it looks like maybe that could be what
Yeah.
Tate's doing because if he doubles those stones out, maybe rolls has a shooter roll at blanks and carries the hammer to the last end, or at the very least, yeah, I think the double is the shot he's going for here.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too covered. The
The
to, to
yellow
to
on the
quite
right.
get there. Yeah, again, these with the lensing angle here, like it's a little hard to see just how much cover these have, and
That's a really good point.
sometimes you get a little bit more than it looks like from this angle. So I think they might only see the corner.
So Club Nationals are going to be March 15th through the 19th in Wausau, Wisconsin. Purchase your tickets now. And it definitely seems like two of these teams are definitely going to be buying tickets to Wausau really soon. So Burton just pouring salt into this situation. The double for Tate does not work. The shooter,
Yeah.
they lose one of the McBride stones, but the shooter rolls wide and out of play. So that is a steal of one there. And Tate is going to be down three coming home, so that's going to be a challenge for Tate. McBride, I think they got to be feeling the world right now, just being able to have to be in this situation. Although the game's not over yet, so to quote Han Solo, "Don't get cocky, kid." Uh,
I'm pretty sure they're not mad at how their game against the uh, former national champions Team Siggins went. Um, so yeah, I think they're having a pretty good day today.
So there is. It's not over yet. So we will
Of
see
course.
how that game ends. Shifting back to our feature sheets, Camarena um, trying to get something going here with her last rock.
Yeah, and Burton's closed up that line, so there's even they've got to go even wider and bury it even deeper.
This is going to be super tricky, and their sweepers are off of it. I think this is, and it's going to wreck on the guard. So it looks like Burton's going to have a shot for five if they take the shots, uh, and they are going to take the shot.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going for a solid draw here. Sometimes at this point you just throw it away,
Yeah.
or maybe that's what they're doing. They just got to make sure they don't push a blue in. So
Okay,
okay, they're
so
gonna
so
shake.
so it is
There it is.
handshakes. Just realizing the situation here. Burton, the Burton was sitting five, I believe, and so it is game over here. Handshakes all around, and Burton. The Camarena fought hard, but Burton just definitely played really clean, consistent curling, and then more often than not, that gets you championships.
Yeah, they were on top of it. They were highly accurate, and it worked out for them.
So make the final 7-2. Team Burton. So Team Burton is going to represent MoPac for I think the fifth time uh, at USA Curling Nationals, and just a hard fought game. Congratulations to both teams for their efforts, and for the people from Hollywood Curling, you know what that means. We're going to end our broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Actually, no, just kidding. We're going to go around the range and see the end of this game between McBride and Tate. So, we can move the camera, but it's kind of like an all sheets camera and stuff. Um, so I don't have direct control of the cameras. So, um,
Sheets three.
one second. What's that?
They're still at that sheet.
I started it, yeah. So, okay, so sheet three, we're gonna keep an eye on that. And Larry says we have Garnett, so all is good. Uh, Garnett's back to work. He came back here to see how we were doing, and
Garnett's our YouTube comments MVP.
so
uh,
we are working on something to help. It's not going to be perfect by any stretch, but it's going to be better than what we have. So just that's kind of curling too. Just kind of have a better, just something better uh, here, and we are almost there. I need to make sure that my colleague, my broadcaster in arms, has access to the microphone. So you might hear some round of applause coming from the warm room as the victors and the runners up to the women's uh, playdown final comes off the ice. So uh, going to do one more thing here before we change the views. So, how do you like them apples?
all right, we got us a nice little close-up view of sheet three. Unfortunately, we can't get the down the sheet view. We're not quite equipped for that, but we can give you the tops of the houses as we watch this final end play out.
So Tate has the hammer coming home down three, 7-4 in favor of McBride, the team from Hollywood. Tate is playing with the Red Rocks.
He's got his guards, though not for long if McBride has anything to say about it. And that's a rocket right there. And they're going to get a double. Wow, what a great peel.
There we go. So, so McBride is up three. He's in the house. Um, there's a lot of advice saying you want to try and keep the house clear, but I mean you're sitting counters in the house and kind of challenging Tate to hit you out. I guess is that kind of what do you think the thinking is on the part of Team McBride here?
It might come down to just like the shots they're more comfortable with.
Mhm.
Certainly like the conventional, theoretically easy thing to do is to just take out, take out, take out, keep rocks out of play, run them out of rocks. But if they're feeling more confident in their draws, they might prefer to just keep piling their stones in and remove all the scoring area from for Tate, because Tate still has to get three to tie at the end.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
smaller that scoring area, the tougher that gets.
Well, and also, Tate kind of, I think, maybe almost called McBride's bluff, as it were, because Tate drew around to sit corner on that yellow, and
Yeah.
so now McBride is clearing the guards, and I think now it's just going to start blasting, as it were. And I
That's
think
right.
that might be also might be part of it in that, well, Tate didn't put up any guards, so the guard zone really wasn't a factor for,
So this was the clean game shot.
yeah.
They saw that even though Tate kind of came to the wrong side of the top yellow there, they're still pretty protected. McBride's like, no, we're gonna open that up. We don't want any reds to be around that we don't have access to.
Yeah. And so now this is a dangerous shot for. Well, I mean, Tate might be setting up something here that could be dangerous for McBride because it looks like he's setting down, looking to maybe like draw right on top of that yellow, and then later in the end, all they have to do is like chip out the yellow, and all of a sudden they're sitting two, and then trying to find a way to get three.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a setup shot with a plan B that maybe they bump the corner of the yellow and roll for a split.
Hmm.
The yellow might come out so that it's not counting, or might be backing for the red.
So this
Uh,
looks
looks
like
like we're getting that freeze though,
it
but not
comes up a little
quite
short.
deep enough.
Still not bad, although it looks like it is second shot or third shot.
It
'Cause-
is out counting that back yellow,
yeah.
at least judging by the rings, which might not be perfectly accurate, but I think in this case we can be pretty confident about this one.
And so again, McBride is just call him the cleaner because he's just going to clean house here. So as Garnett posts on the YouTube feed at the same time.
Yep. Likely McBride doesn't even care if that yellow sticks around as long as the red goes away, which it will. That is solid weight and just punches it right out, pretty much.
So to answer Brenna's question in the chat, they announced last week that Wausau, Wisconsin is going to be hosting both the men's and the women's club nationals from March 15th to the 19th. It's going to be a 12-team field, so I think it's maybe a little bit smaller than it is usually, but it's going to be in mid-March in Wisconsin.
I miss exactly what this call is. Are they trying to do perhaps a split raise?
I think they might be trying to run
Oh.
that back and maybe trying to.
Oh, they're changing. Okay, I thought they threw already. My bad. Yeah. Okay. So definitely they're trying to do a raise here, or no, draw to the wing.
Oh, that makes sense too. So it looks like they're
Yeah,
going to be
that weight.
drawing to the right wing from this view. Looks pretty good. I mean, a little tap is not too bad.
Yeah, if they get a freeze on that yellow, that's a pretty decent situation.
Ooh.
It didn't quite curl enough, unfortunately. So it's still at risk.
But it's also not shot rock. Shots the top
Yeah.
red there.
I think that is third, as far as I can tell from this camera view, because I think that back yellow is out counting that
Yeah.
the red in the wing there.
But it might just be a matter of getting rid of shooters at this point.
Yeah,
counters.
and that's certainly McBride's strategy. He had some rocks in play early on, but now he's fully switched over to cleaning it up and running red out of rocks.
So his shot's underway.
Garnett's saying that Tate is sitting two, so this might be a case of the cameras being misleading.
Yeah.
Not that it matters anymore. Tate's back to one.
So looks like Tate maybe trying to like do a hit and roll, perhaps. I mean, there's a little bit of cover for their own red. Sean Tate being the skip there. He's curled for 19 years. Was the 2013 MoPac Club Nationals Playdowns runner-up. Although he also later attended at Club Nationals. MoPac may have gotten a second berth that year. That may have been what happened. I was wondering the other day, like, how did that happen? We are at a skip stone, so this needs to count to keep the game going.
Yeah, Tate needs to keep all remaining stones in play and counting for score in order to tie this game.
And the math is easy for McBride. I mean, just make sure that he doesn't get three.
Yeah. Yeah,
Take
if
shots
McBride gets
underway.
rid of one more red, then it's game over.
But it's been a great game. It's been a great tournament. I definitely again appreciate all the feedback. Even sometimes constructive criticism, shall I say, when it's like, why isn't our game on? Oh my goodness, this looks to be slowing down in time, which is good.
This
Um,
will be a scoring rock. Um, both reds are pretty wide open, so uh, the call's fairly easy for McBride. It's a matter of which one and which side.
and he's got the broom there.
You didn't have to think about it for long, yeah.
So, Team McBride out of Hollywood, their team bio states if our team mentality were to be summed up in one phrase, it would have to be from Cameron when he says, F with me, you know I got it. Attributed to Rick Ross, Big Poppy, and Cameron Ross. Although I think he noted that neither Rick Ross nor Big Pappy said that phrase. Uh, it's been a guiding force through this grueling qualification process, and they are one step from the top of the podium right now. So, uh, very huge kudos to McBride. Also facing a lot of challenges by not having the dedicated ice anymore at the SoCal Curling Center. They are going to find some dedicated ice in Wausau if they make this takeout.
Yeah,
And it looks like it's there.
it's all there, yep.
Say goodbye
That'll be
and
game.
congratulations to Team McBride as they have secured the win.
Yep.
Handshakes all around.
McBride will be going on to represent men for the MoPac regional qualification at the men's club nationals.
So again, congratulations. Switching to this wide angle because I thought it'd be better to see them shaking hands kind of at eye level as opposed to, bird eye level. But just a great tournament all around. This is our last broadcast from this event. But please join us in 2 Thursdays from now, where we will be at Coyotes Curling Club in Tempe, Arizona, for the 2023 MoPac Mixed Team Playdowns. That is the 4-person team format. So if I was Vic Router, I'd have an essay I'd read right now. But thank you, San Francisco. Thank you to all the volunteers and the teams for putting on a heck of a show. You were called onto the stage on very short notice after the sudden closure of the Southern California Curling Center, but you have shined in so many ways. The curlers have been able to shine in so many ways, and it's been great to have people joining me on this broadcast, just so I'm not talking to myself for hours on end. Adam, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Jane, to Garnett, to Jasmine, to Trevor, to Sean, just everyone that was on the broadcast. It was a lot of fun, and I think we will definitely be back in some form to San Francisco. Just one last reminder, because we're trying to be all legal like that. This Where did that note go? There it is. This broadcast is presented by authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Now, if you were to reproduce this game in any way, we said interpretive dance, we said Lego, we said puppenettes, which are like they're knockoff Muppets.
Oh, for me, it's definitely going to be a musical.
Okay.
But it's going to be curling the musical on ice.
They did that in Canada a few like.
Sounds absolutely delightful.
Yes, and so I would definitely love to see your take on it. So maybe next time when we're here in the Bay Area. So for all of us here, as the teams are applauded as they step off the ice, this has been your host Ryan, joined by Adam. For all of us here at the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club and MoPac, for the last time from San Francisco, so long and good.